Now, according to a recent statistic, there are more than 1.7 billion monthly active Facebook users. Now, October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month and a great time to perform a digital checkup. Joining us live by satellite from San Francisco this morning is Victoria Grand, the Global Head of Policy Programs at Facebook, and we welcome her to Virginia this morning. Good morning, Victoria.
Good morning, Antoinette. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're welcome. You know, we have so many different things that we have to have passwords for: our home, our phones, our computers at home, at work, you know, social media, everything. And it's so important that we keep them safe. And there are real threats out there.
That's right. You know, I hear from friends and family all the time that they're worried about things like identity theft and hacks, and they want to know how to stay safe online, especially on sites like Facebook that they use all the time. So I have some tips to share, but the first thing to know is that Facebook is working behind the scenes to keep you safe. We've got top security engineers. They work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to design these powerful security programs, and we run those programs about 1 million times a second in order to fend off attacks.
Well, that makes us feel good. So let's start. What are Facebook's top 5 things for keeping our profiles safe?
Great. Well, you know, you probably are on Facebook all the time, but when was the last time that you checked those settings or that you did something that we call the security checkup? The security checkup is the single best thing that you can do in order to stay safe on Facebook, and it's an easy-to-use tool. Takes just under 5 minutes, and there are 3 easy steps. The first is to have a unique Facebook password, and the unique part is really the most important thing here. It's so tempting to use the same password across the internet. Who has the mental space or the time to manage all of those passwords? But you know, it really is something that makes you susceptible to attacks if you do that. And so it's really important, again, on sites like banking sites, sites like Facebook where you have personal information or family photos, to have that unique password. And you shouldn't just change a letter or a number and think that that makes it unique, because actually, you know, the hackers have these sophisticated systems that can detect those small changes pretty quickly. So a unique password is critical. If you have trouble remembering passwords, there are actually apps for that. They're called password managers, and they are free and easy to use. Now, the second step in the security checkup, the first is to have that unique password. The second is to set up these email alerts that notify you if a new device is trying to access your Facebook account, sort of like a car alarm that goes off and lets you know right into your email. And the final thing is to do what we call verifying logins. And I did this, you know, the first time I did the security checkup, and I found out that I was actually logged into 2 browsers and 2 apps that I hadn't visited in over a month. And so I was able to just, with a click of a button, log right out of those.
So the harder you make your password, the better it is.
The key is to make it unique and to make sure that it's not an easy one to guess. It shouldn't just be your name or, you know, something that's easy to guess.
And then try and remember that. Okay. Now, many popular apps give you the option to log in by using your Facebook account. How safe are those?
You know, I highly recommend doing those Facebook logins. Not only do they help you to manage all those passwords because there's less of them to remember, but actually it's safer because what you're doing is you're trusting a smaller number of services with those important passwords.
Okay. And then if people could make one change to maximize security for their accounts, what should that be?
Sure. Well, you know, the gold standard when it comes to security protection is something that we call two-factor authentication or login approvals. And I know that sounds like a mouthful. This is stuff that techies really used to use, but now regular people are using them, especially when, you know, we see these recent statistics that say that something like 850 million people have had their personal records compromised in the last 10 years. So this two-factor authentication is great. The way that it works is if you're trying to access your account with a new device or an unknown device, you're going to get a code that's sent to your phone, and you just go ahead and put that code in, and that means that between your password and that extra security code, you've got kind of a double layer of protection in order to get into that account.
And where can our viewers go for more information on this?
Sure, you just go to facebook.com/security-checkup for new tools and figuring out how to add that extra layer of protection to your account.
All right, Victoria, thank you so much for all those great tips. We appreciate it. Thank you.